All right, I don't know how that happened. Okay, Abunuwas built a two-story house. When it was finished, he looked for someone to buy it, but could not find anyone. But luckily, he got a merchant who agreed to buy. However, Abunuwas sold him the top story only and gave him a ladder outside. Matters remained like this for a long time. At last, Abunuwas wanted to conclude the business and make the merchant buy the bottom half from him. The merchant refused to buy. Abunuwas looked for another client, but could not find one. So he made another plan. He collected a large number of laborers and came with them to his house. He called out to the merchant who was above and said to him, I want to break up my house below. So you look after your house above and don't come and say, I didn't tell you. The merchant was defeated by the guile of Abunuwas, and he ended up having to buy the house at Abunawas's price. Now, believe it or not, I experienced something very similar to this when when we were looking to buy a house in Sacramento, where there was a man occupying the house and refusing to let the owner sell the house. So I don't know what that man's name was. Maybe his name was actually Abunuwas. Who knows? Oh, okay. I've got a little notice here. It says I'm running low on juice. Let me just go ahead and give this device here some juice before it plays out on me. We wouldn't want that to happen. Boom. Just put it right in there. Right on in there. There we go. All right, we're good now. Okay, you have to pay attention to all those little beeps and bells that start ringing around here. All right, now let's see. Story number 2 for tonight. One day, Abunuwas was going along the road with his goat, and he met 3 thieves, who, when they saw him coming, agreed that one of them should pretend to have a stomach ache and lie down on the ground. Abunuwas came up and, seeing the man on the ground, asked what was the matter. And he said, I'm in great pain. So Abunuwas said, are you able to hold a goat's string? And he replied, yes. So he took the man up and carried him and gave him the goat's rope to hold. On the way, the thief let the goat go. Unknown to Abunuwas, who on reaching his house asked the thief what had happened to it. And the man said, I was in great pain and the string slipped out of my hand. Meanwhile, the other 2 thieves had caught the goat and killed it and divided it into 3 parts. And their companion, who had pretended to be ill, managed to escape from Abunuwas' house while he was away and soon rejoined them. When Abunuwas found out he had gone, he told his wife that he must go and find them. But before doing so, he got 2 gazelles, which he fastened in the yard, and a bladder which he filled with blood. He said to his wife, I will follow the thieves with 1 gazelle, and you must fasten the bladder of blood to your throat. And she did so. He then went and found the thieves, and after talking to them for some time, told them he wanted to join them, and they agreed to let him. Whilst they were going back to his house, he hit the gazelle with the stick and said, go to my wife and tell her to cook food for 3. The gazelle ran away into the bush. When they arrived home at Abunuwas' house, he called out, wife, have you cooked the food? And she said, no. Why? And he said, didn't the gazelle tell you to? She replied, the gazelle came back and went into the hut and told me nothing. Then Abunuwas fetched the 2nd gazelle and asked why it hadn't told her. And the gazelle cried, I told her a long time ago to do it. Abunuwas then went and knocked his wife down, cutting the bladder at her throat, and she pretended to be dead. The thieves were very frightened and said, he has killed his wife. But Abunuwas said, She has no sense, so I punished her. And he took a bottle of medicine and let her smell it, then touched her with a stick. When she got up, he told her to wash herself and then cook some food. Then they all sat down and they ate. After they finished, the thieves, who had been greatly struck with what they had seen, asked if he would let them have the gazelle, the stick, and the medicine. And after some discussion, he sold them to them for 1,000 rupees. And they took the things and went away. After they had gone, Abunuwas ran away from that place and went and lived in another country. One day, when the thieves were out with the gazelle, one of them hit it with a stick and told it to go home and tell his wife to cook some food. And it ran away into the bush. When they got home, they found nothing ready. And the man asked his wife why she had not done as the gazelle had told her. She said, "No gazelle has come here." And he, thinking she was lying, knocked her down and cut her throat. And she kicked out in her death struggles and expired. He then gave her the medicine to smell and hit her with the stick. But they saw she did not revive and was actually dead. And there you have it. Another tale of Abunuwas. So you have to be careful, because someone else can do something does not necessarily mean you can do it. So you do what you do and let others do what they do. But be careful to follow behind somebody else and try to do what they do, because you might be trying to follow behind Abunuwas. And that, my children, is the moral to that story. Meanwhile, you know what time it is. It's time for all you little children out there to lay your little heads on your little pillows, on your little beds, close those eyes, and wait for the sun to rise. And when those sunbeams come beaming down on your eyes, you know it'll be time for you to rise and shine, O children of mine. And in the meanwhile, we will be black tomorrow at noon for all you adults out there. But before we go, we got one more thing we want to share with you about our show. This is a non-profit effort. We don't make any money doing this. We haven't made a dime in over a year. And COVID has put a crimp in all of our business activities. So the least you could do is go ahead and give us a like if you like what you see. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear. And if you like what you see and you like what you hear, then go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tubular Black Facts. And while you're at it, tell your friends and your family too. You might as well, because if you like it, maybe it'll be good for them too. And in the meanwhile, I see Sydney over here. How you doing this evening, Sydney? And I see Imani over here. Let me give a little wave to them, a little shout out. And in the meanwhile, this is Doc Ock signing off. Doc Ock at noon and 9. Peace out, y'all.